this video is about, he loved her soft-hearted but she carried his enemy's mark. If this story captivates you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The moon hung high over the sprawling forest, its silver light weaving through the ancient trees. A soft breeze whispered secrets of the night, carrying the scent of pine and earth. In the heart of this realm, the werewolf pack thrived, ruled by Alpha Callan, a fierce leader with the strength of 100 wolves. Yet, beneath his commanding exterior lay a heart that beat for someone he could never have. Alina, an omega of the Verent pack, wandered the quiet edge of the woods, her breath puffing like smoke in the cool night. Her gentle spirit was a beacon of warmth, drawing all who met her. But tonight, a shadow loomed over her, heart a mark etched upon her skin, a cruel reminder of her family's ties to the rival pack, the Blackthorn. You shouldn't be out here alone, Alina. Callan's deep voice broke through her thoughts, sending shivers down her spine. He emerged from the shadows, his silhouette framed by the glowing moonlight, radiating power and danger. Alina turned, her heart racing. I needed some air, she replied, keeping her gaze anchored to the ground. She could feel the weight of his gaze, the way he studied her, yet she couldn't bring herself to meet his eyes. Besides, it is safe here. Safe with the Blackthorn prowling. You not just an omega, you marked, he said, his voice laced with concern. The mark on her wrist, a dark crescent moon, was the emblem of her family's past alliances, a bond forged in betrayal. Don't remind me, she whispered, pulling her sleeve down to hide the mark. I can't change what my parents did, I am not my lineage. Callan stepped closer, the distance between them charged with unspoken emotions. But it is a part of you, Alina, it's dangerous. Dangerous, she echoed, bitterness rising in her throat. Or maybe it is just another way to keep me from what I want from you. The admission slipped out, raw and unfiltered. His expression shifted, a mix of longing and frustration. You know it can be, if anyone finds out. I don't care about anyone else, she interrupted, her voice trembling. I care about you, Callan. I always have. A silence enveloped them, thick with tension. Callan's wolf stirred restlessly within him, yearning to claim her, to protect her. But reason held him back, the weight of pack loyalty and destiny pressing on his shoulders. You rebound to the Blackthorn by blood, Alina. You have no idea the risks. And you think I am afraid? She shot back, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. You don't understand. I've always been afraid of never being enough, of being stuck in a cage built by my family essence. She turned away, fighting against the storm of emotions within her. Callan reached out, capturing her wrist gently, the mark pulsing under his touch. Alina, he breathed the softness of her name echoing in the night. You mean more to me than you know. No, she choked out, I am a liability, a burden. I'll only drag you down. Callan's heart ached at her words. You no burden, you my light in this dark world, but your ties to the Blackthorn. He paused, struggling to find the right words. What if they decide to take you back? She closed her eyes, feeling the sting of tears. You think I want to go back, to be part of that pack again? They betrayed my trust, just as you fear they would betray yours. The tension in the air crackled with unspoken longing. Callan stepped closer, his breath mingling with hers. Then stay with us, choose us, he urged, desperation bleeding through his voice. You have a place in my heart, Alina, you always have. Even if it means defying the pack, even if it means betraying your parents, she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He leaned closer, the warmth of his body radiating against hers, igniting every instinct within her. I would defy anyone for you, he confessed, his eyes darkening with determination. You are not just an omega, you are destined for something greater. But the weight of the mark on her wrist felt heavier than her heart could bear. Destined or cursed? She pulled away, the distance a chasm filled with their unsaid fears and dreams. Can love truly conquer bloodlines? Callan's jaw clenched, the conflict tearing at him. What if we could find a way? I defy for you, for us, we could it? Risk everything, she finished for him, her voice tinged with sadness. What if I am a pawn in a game far bigger than us? The moonlight painted their silhouettes against the trees, but shadows danced in Callan's chest. Alina, listen to me, he said, his voice firm yet gentle. I want to let the Blackthorn take you, not now, not ever. She held his gaze, her heart pounding with a mix of hope and fear. You don't know what they're capable of, they want to stop until they reclaim their own. Callan's grip tightened on her wrist, his eyes ablaze with determination. Then let me show you what we can become together. A sudden rustle in the bushes interrupted their moment, sending a shiver down Alina's spine. Callan immediately shifted into his wolf form, muscles taut and ready to defend her. She backed away, her heart pounding in fear. "Stay behind me," he growled, his wolf instincts on high alert, eyes scanning the darkened forest. From the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in darkness, Cade, the infamous enforcer of the Blackthorn Pack. His eyes glinted with malice, a sinister smile curling his lips as he recognized Alina. Well, what a lovely surprise. Still running around with Callan, are you?" "Stay away from her, Cade." Callan snarled, positioning himself protectively in front of Alina. Cade chuckled, the sound chilling. "You think you can protect her? She bears our mark, Alpha. She is bound to us. You should have known better than to fall for her." Alina felt a surge of panic. "I am not yours. I am not possession." "But you are," Cade replied smoothly. "A mark of your family's treachery. You belong with us. Alina, you can't escape your fate." Callan's growl rumbled through the night, fierce and primal. "Over my dead body," he spat. "Is that a challenge?" Cade taunted, stepping closer, his presence darkening the air around them. "You are willing to fight for someone who carries my pack's mark? That is bold, even for you, Callan." Alina felt the tension rise, a storm brewing between the two men. She stepped forward, her voice trembling but resolute. "I choose who I belong to, and it is not defined by blood, Callan. SHH, Callan whispered, stepping back to shield her. "Let me handle this." "Don't play the hero," she urged, her heart aching. "We can find another way." But Callan's wolf was in control, instinct overwhelming his reason. "I will not let you take her, Cade." As the moon cast an otherworldly glow over the scene, a battle of wills began, one that would test loyalty, love, and the very fabric of their destinies. In the heart of the forest, where shadows whispered secrets, the night held its breath, anticipating the storm to come. Alina felt the stakes rise, their lives intertwined in a web of fate, love, and betrayal. And as her heart raced, she realized that the true battle was only beginning. Alina's heart pounded like a war drum, each beat echoing in her ears as Callan stood between her and Cade. The tension crackled like lightning in the night air, the weight of unspoken fears and desires heavy on their shoulders. "Step aside, Callan," Cade said, his voice smooth as silk but laced with danger. "You are outmatched and outnumbered. This is a fight you can win." Callan's stance grew fiercer, muscles coiling like a spring. "I am not afraid of you, Cade. You think this is just about the mark? She is more than a symbol of your family's betrayal. She is everything to me." Alina swallowed hard, emotions swirling within her like a tempest. "Callan, please, don't do this for me. We can let this escalate." She reached out, her fingers brushing against his arm, grounding herself in the strength she found in him. "Escalate?" Cade laughed mockingly, his eyes flashing with amusement. "It has already escalated. Sweet Alina, you are caught between two worlds, and no amount of love can change the blood that binds you to us." "Enough!" Callan roared, his voice cutting through the night. "I want to let you manipulate her. She is not your pawn." He shifted, the moonlight glimmering off his fur, a magnificent beast ready for battle. Alina stepped closer to Callan, her heart swelling with both pride and fear. "You don't have to fight for me. I can handle this." Cade's expression morphed into something more sinister. "Handle what? The truth. You are a Blackthorn at heart, and it is only a matter of time before you return to us." He took a step forward, his gaze piercing through her. "You know it is where you belong." "Enough!" Alina cried out, her voice trembling. "I don't belong to any pack. I choose my own fate." She turned her gaze to Callan, desperation lacing her words. "And I choose you." Callan's eyes softened, a flicker of hope igniting amidst the storm. "Then let us show them together what it means to choose love over bloodlines." He steadied himself, readying for whatever Cade would throw their way. Cade sneered, stepping back slightly to assess the situation. "You think you can escape what you are? You are foolish, and this will end badly for you both." He lifted his chin, signaling to the shadows lurking in the woods. Just then, another figure emerged, Derek, a fierce warrior of the Blackthorn Pack. He was flanked by a group of wolves, their eyes glinting with predatory hunger. "What is the plan, Cade? Shall we take back what is ours?" "Back off!" Callan shouted, fur bristling as he prepared for a fight. "Alina is not your possession. I want to let her go." "Your defiance is admirable, but foolish," Derek replied, his voice dripping with disdain. "She is bound by blood. You think this is a love story? It is a tragedy in the making." Alina felt the weight of their words settle heavily on her shoulders, as if the forest itself conspired against her. "No," she said, her voice firm. "My love for Callan is not a tragedy. It is my choice, my destiny." The air thickened with tension, and for a moment, silence reigned, the only sound being the rustling of leaves and distant howls. Callan's eyes locked onto hers, a silent understanding passing between them. "Let us show them what happens when you underestimate love," Callan finally said, growling low as he shifted into his wolf form, a magnificent creature of strength and grace, ready for battle. "Fine," Kate said, shifting with an eerie confidence. "Let us see if your love can withstand the weight of destiny." And just like that, the night erupted into chaos. Callan and his pack lunged into battle, their howls reverberating through the forest as they fought against the odds. Alina stood frozen, fear and awe crashing over her like waves. "Move it," she shouted at herself, panic surging through her veins. She had to do something. She had to fight for her love, to prove that the mark didn't define her. With a deep breath, she stepped aside, her heart hammering in her chest as she shouted, "I refuse to be a pawn in this game. I am my own person." Her voice cut through the chaos, drawing the attention of both packs. Callan, momentarily distracted, turned his fierce gaze toward her. The intensity of his love shone through even amidst the chaos. "Stay back, Alina, it is too dangerous." But Alina shook her head, determination igniting her spirit. "I want to let you fight for me when I can fight for us." Her words echoed through the night, filling her with courage. A shift in the atmosphere brought a brief pause to the battle. The wolves froze, watching her with a mix of surprise and curiosity, their primal instincts caught in a web of uncertainty. Cade's eyes narrowed, and he stepped back, confusion flickering across his face. "What are you doing?" "I am reclaiming my fate," she declared, lifting her chin defiantly. "You think I belong to the bloodline of betrayal. I am breaking free." In that moment, a soft glow enveloped Alina, an ethereal light emerging from the mark on her wrist. Gasps filled the air as the wolves recoiled, the power radiating from her startling them. "What is happening?" Derek whispered, his voice laced with disbelief. She asked, glowing. Callan's eyes widened, all mixing with pride. "Alina, you reawakening your true power. The mark doesn't bind you, it sets you free." Cade's fury bubbled over, his features contorting. "No, this is not how it is supposed to be." He charged at her, but Callan intercepted, his claws clashing against Cade's with a ferocity born of love and desperation. Alina, feeling the surge of energy coursing through her, stepped forward, her voice steady and commanding. "I am no one's property. I choose my own destiny. I am not bound by my lineage. I am free to love." The glowing mark pulsed as if responding to her declaration. Light spilled from her wrist, wrapping around the wolves and illuminating the forest. The energy swirled, creating a protective barrier around her, pushing back the Blackthorn warriors. Cade stumbled, shock evident on his face. "What kind of magic is this?" "It is not just magic," Callan growled, pushing against Cade. "It has the power of love, of loyalty, of a bond that transcends bloodlines." The wolves of the Blackthorn hesitated, uncertainty clouding their minds. Alina's courage ignited a spark of rebellion within them, a flicker of doubt toward the oppression of their lineage. "Join us," Alina shouted, her voice ringing with authority. "Together, we can break free from the chains of our past. We can forge a new future." As if compelled by her words, some of the Blackthorn wolves began to shift, their expressions softening. It was a moment of unity, a breath of hope in the midst of chaos. But Cade, furious and defiant, lunged at Callan again, desperate to reclaim his control. "I won't let you ruin this. You read nothing without the mark, Alina." Alina felt the pull of the mark, a reminder of her lineage, but she stood her ground, determination radiating from her. "I am everything I choose to be, Cade. I am not a victim of your past." With one final surge of energy, she raised her hand, the glow intensifying and encasing Callan in its warmth. Their eyes met, and in that shared glance, an unbreakable bond solidified between them. Callan, emboldened by her strength, fought back against Cade, the clash of wills echoing through the forest. "You will not take her from me," he roared, the power of their love igniting an unstoppable force. Amidst the chaos, the tide began to turn. The Blackthorn wolves hesitated, torn between loyalty and the newfound hope that Alina represented. Alina's heart raced, exhilaration mixing with fear. "We can rewrite our destinies together." As the light swirled around her, her voice became a beacon of possibility. "Let us break the cycle of hatred and forge a new path. Love can conquer all." With that, something shifted within the hearts of the Blackthorn wolves. One by one, they began to retreat, uncertainty etched on their faces as they realized the strength of love outweighed the bonds of blood. Cade faltered, realizing the tide was turning against him. "We will not forget this, Alina. You will regret this defiance." But Alina stood tall, her heart pounding with triumph. No more regrets, only choices. This is where I belong. The last remnants of the Blackthorn pack disappeared into the shadows, leaving Elena and Callan in the glow of their newfound freedom. The battle was won, but the war was far from over. Callan shifted back into his human form, panting but filled with pride. You were incredible. You show. Elena's heart sang with a mixture of victory and disbelief as the last remnants of the Blackthorn walls faded into the shadows. The forest, once thick with tension and chaos, now wrapped them in a serene hush, the moonlight draping over them like a comforting blanket. She turned to Callan, who stood before her, eyes ablaze with a mix of pride and something deeper that made her heart skip. You did it, Elena. You truly did it, he said, his voice thick with emotion. You showed them the power of love. She couldn't help but smile, a rush of exhilaration blooming within her. I was scared, Callan. I thought I might fail, thought they would never see me as anything but the mark on my wrist. But he stepped closer, his warmth surrounding her. You read so much more than that, Mark. You read the light in this darkness. His gaze softened. You were born to break chains, not be bound by them. Elena's breath hitched at his words. Was it possible that she truly meant something more than just a pawn in this game? The weight of her lineage still hovered over her like a storm cloud, but now there was a flicker of hope. What if they return? What if Cade comes back with an army? Callan took her hands in his grip firm yet tender. We'll be ready. We'll stand together as a pack, as allies. You've awakened something within our wolves, a belief that love can conquer bloodlines. But doubt crept into her heart. And what about the Blackthorn? They've never been known to forgive easily. Cade will want revenge. She could almost see the darkness swelling in her mind, the shadows of betrayal clouding her vision. Let him come, Callan stated with fierce resolve. We will not back down. I won't let them take you from me. His voice dropped to a whisper. I would die before I let them have you. Tears brimmed in Elena's eyes, overwhelmed by the fervor of his love. You don't understand the depths of their hatred. My family's past is woven with betrayal. They will stop at nothing. Callan stepped back, the moonlight framing him like a warrior ready for battle. Then we rewrite our future, together. We will train, prepare, and gather allies. I refuse to let our love be a casualty of their hatred. Just then, a rustle in the bushes interrupted their moment. The air around them shifted, and Elena's heart raced again. Had the Blackthorn returned? But emerging from the shadows was not Cade, but Lynn, the pack's healer and one of Elena's closest friends. The look on her face was a mix of awe and concern. What in the name of the moon happened here? Lynn? Elena rushed to her side, relief washing over her. You wouldn't believe it. But Lynn interrupted, taking in the aftermath of the confrontation. I felt the energy from the clearing. It was like a beacon. I thought you were in danger. Callan stepped forward, his voice steady. We were, but Elena stood strong. She awakened a power within herself that none of us could have anticipated. Lynn's eyes widened. You did this? Elena nodded, her heart swelling with confidence. I didn't want to be defined by my past. I wanted to choose my own fate. The healer stepped closer, placing a hand on Elena's shoulder. You've proven that love can indeed push back darkness. But there was still apprehension in Lynn's gaze. Yet the Blackthorn won't retreat forever. They'll come for you, Elena. You need to be prepared for a war. Callan's jaw tightened. We will be ready. I'll rally our pack, strengthen our defenses. We won't let fear dictate our choices. Elena felt the weight of their gazes, the trust and hope they placed in her. What if they don't listen? What if they think I am a traitor? The Verent pack believes in you, Lynn reassured. They respect your strength. You showed everyone tonight what you were capable of. We all saw it. Elena took a deep breath, the reality of this situation crashing down. But I can't just sit back and wait for them to come for me. I need to learn to fight, to protect what I love. Callan nodded, resolute. Then we trained. I'll teach you everything I know. You'll be ready to stand by my side no matter what comes. Days turned into weeks, filled with rigorous training, late nights beneath the canopy of stars, and shared dreams of a future unbound by fear. Elena was relentless, pouring every ounce of energy she had into her training. Callan stood by her side, a steadfast anchor, guiding her through the trials of becoming more than just an Omega. But with each passing day, the shadow of the Blackthorn grew nearer. Cade's threats loomed over them, a promise of vengeance that made the air thick with tension. As Elena and Callan trained, the rest of the Verent wolves rallied around them, drawn by Elena's courage and the promise of a united pack. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of crimson and gold, Callan gathered the pack beneath the ancient oak tree. The scent of pine mingled with the cool breeze, and the atmosphere buzzed with anticipation. "Tonight we stand as one," Callan declared, his voice booming with authority. "Alina has shown us that love is stronger than blood. Together, we can defeat the darkness that seeks to tear us apart." Alina stood beside him, heart racing. "I may carry a mark from the past, but it does not define my future. We are more than our lineage. We are a family bound by love and loyalty." The pack erupted in cheers, the sound echoing through the forest, a rallying cry that sent a thrill through Alina's veins. But as they celebrated, the Alina's thoughts drifted back to Cade, his twisted smile, his promises of revenge. "What if it is not enough?" she murmured under her breath, still grappling with the fear that tightened her chest. Callan leaned closer, his voice softening. "We'll all face whatever comes our way, together." Yet, in the depths of her heart, a nagging doubt lingered. Would love truly be enough to shield them from the storm brewing on the horizon? Weeks of preparation led to an inevitable confrontation. The night Cade finally returned was shrouded in a thick fog, the air heavy with dread. Alina stood beside Callan, their hands clasped tightly as they faced the approaching threat. "Are you ready?" he asked, eyes locked on to the darkened tree line where shadows stirred, whispering promises of chaos. "I have to be," she replied, her voice steady despite the fear threatening to crack her facade. "For you, for us." As the moon rose high, illuminating the gathering of wolves, Cade stepped into the clearing. A smirk danced upon his lips, eyes glinting with malice. "I must say, I am impressed. You've rallied the stragglers, Callan, but you'll soon realize how foolish this is." "Enough of your games, Cade," Callan growled, muscles coiling, ready to spring into action. "We want to let you take what is ours." Alina stepped forward, meeting Cade's gaze. "I am not yours to take. I choose my destiny." Cade's laughter echoed, chilling the air. "You forget, Alina," he remarked, "that bond cannot be broken." "But I am more than just a mark," she shouted, her voice ringing through the night. "I am not bound by your hatred." In that moment, something shifted within her. The power she had awakened surged forth, flickering along her skin as a soft glow illuminated her form. She could feel Callan's presence beside her, strength pouring into her like warmth from the sun. "You think your love can shield you?" Cade sneered, but there was a flicker of uncertainty in his eyes as the other blackthorn wolf shifted uneasily. "Yes," Alina replied, her voice unwavering. "And it will unite us against the darkness you bring." With a fierce growl, Callan surged forward, leading the Varen's pack into battle. Wolves clashed in a symphony of snarls and growls, the night erupting into chaos. Alina fought alongside Callan, her heart pounding in rhythm with the fight. But as the battle ensued, Cade's relentless pursuit turned toward Alina, fury radiating from him. "You will regret defying your blood," he roared, lunging toward her. Fear coursed through her, but the glow of her power flared, enveloping her in a shield of light. She stood tall, unwavering. "I will not be your pawn, Cade." With newfound strength, she raised her hand, unleashing the energy coursing through her. A brilliant light exploded from her palm, pushing back against Cade's darkness, illuminating the forest with a radiant glow that washed over the battlefield. "Together!" Callan shouted, rallying the Varen's pack. The wolves surged forward, emboldened by Alina's light. Alina's heart raced as the battlefield erupted into chaos, the clash of wolves echoing through the night. The air crackled with tension, a storm brewing in the wake of her declaration. Her power surged, intertwining with the collective strength of the Varen's pack as they fought against the darkness Cade embodied. "Stay close!" Callan shouted above the din, his voice a beacon as he darted through the throng, his fierce determination palpable. He fought with the unyielding spirit of an alpha, drawing strength from the bond they had forged amidst uncertainty and fear. Alina watched him, pride swelling in her chest. But Cade's relentless glare pulled her focus back, reminding her of the danger that loomed. "You think you can defy destiny?" Cade spat, his voice dripping with contempt. "You read nothing without your mark." "I had everything because of my choices," she retorted, her voice steady despite the chaos. The glowing energy surrounding her pulsed with her words, a shield against the bitter cold of Cade's darkness. With a fierce growl, Cade lunged at her, aiming to break through her protective barrier. But before he could reach her, Callan intercepted him, their bodies colliding in a whirlwind of fervent fury. Alina's heart ached watching the two powerful wolves clash, the depths of their hatred swirling around them like a tempest. "Callan," she shouted, desperation rising in her throat. He glanced back, eyes locking onto hers with fierce determination. "I am fine. Just focus on your power." Alina nodded, forcing herself to breathe deeply. The glow from her mark pulsed brighter, illuminating the battlefield as if to remind her of her strength. She would not be a victim. She would rewrite her fate. With renewed resolve, she lifted her hands, summoning her energy. "Everyone, join me," she cried, her voice echoing through the chaos. "Together, we can break the chains that bind us." The Verenth pack rallied, their howls intertwining with hers, filling the air with a powerful symphony of unity. The light enveloped them, brightening the darkness Cade brought with him, and in that moment, Alina felt invincible. But Cade was not deterred. "This will end tonight," he roared, shifting his focus back to Callan. "You can protect her forever, she is mine by blood." Callan's growl rumbled deep within his chest, a warning that resonated through the chaos. "You will never have her, Cade, she has chosen her own path." The two wolves collided again, the impact sending shockwaves through the forest. Alina watched in horror as Callan fought valiantly against Cade, both powerful alphas determined to claim their truth. But Alina's heart surged with love for Callan, pushing her own power to new heights. With each howl of the Verenth pack, she felt the energy within her pulse like a heartbeat raw, real, and alive. "Stand with me," she shouted, feeling the warmth of their bond wrapping around her. "We are stronger together." The wolves responded, their spirits igniting as they fought alongside her. Each surge of energy from Alina sent ripples through the pack, their individual strengths blending into a force that resonated with the very essence of love and loyalty. Cade faltered, momentarily stunned by the display of unity. "No, this can't be happening." "Yes, it can," Alina shouted, her voice filled with defiance. "We are not just bloodlines. We are a family forged by love. You can't break us." As Cade regained his footing, he snarled, eyes blazing with fury. "I will show you the consequences of your defiance." He lunged toward her again, but this time, Alina was ready. The glowing energy from her mark expanded, forming a shimmering barrier that pushed Cade back. "You want to know the truth of my mark? It doesn't bind me, it empowers me." With a fierce determination, she unleashed the full force of her magic, sending a wave of light cascading toward Cade, illuminating the darkness swelling around him. "You may have my bloodline, Cade, but you will never have my spirit." The force of her magic knocked Cade off balance, and the Verenth pack seized the moment, lunging at the black-thorn wolves with renewed vigor. Callan, eyes locked onto Alina, charged forward, his presence a beacon through the chaos. "Alina," he shouted, dodging and weaving through the throng. "Stay focused. Don't let him break your spirit." "I won't, I promise," as she called back, feeling the strength of his love bolstering her own. But just as victory seemed within reach, Cade rallied, his eyes narrowing with dark intent. "You think you can win this? You are just a naive girl playing with forces you don't understand." "Naive? No," Alina replied, her gaze unwavering. "I am a force of nature, and I will not let your darkness consume us." The glow from her mark pulsed around her, illuminating the shadows that threatened to swallow them whole. "I choose love, I choose courage. Together, we will break free from the chains that bind us." With a fierce roar, she unleashed her magic, a wave of light crashing into Cade, sending him staggering back. The blackthorn wolves paused, caught in the riptide of uncertainty that Alina had created. "Join us," she cried, her voice resonating with authority. "You don't have to follow a path of hatred. We can forge a new destiny together." Some of the blackthorn wolves hesitated, their loyalty wavering in the face of Alina's fierce declaration. Cade's eyes widened, anger flashing across his features. "They are mine, you will not take them from me." With a growl, he charged again, but Callan intercepted him, the two alphas locked in a battle that felt like the very essence of their struggle. "Keep fighting," Callan yelled, his voice fierce even amidst the chaos. "Together, we are unstoppable." Alina poured every ounce of her magic into a radiant shield, pushing back against Cade's darkness, illuminating the clearing with a brilliant light that radiated hope. The Verenth pack surged forward, their hearts beating in unison with hers. As the chaos raged around them, Alina felt the weight of destiny pressing down upon her. This was her moment, the culmination of every struggle, every doubt, and every fear she had faced. Callan's fierce spirit burned beside her, an unwavering flame in the face of darkness. Cade's anger burned through the chaos, but with each passing moment, Alina's light grew brighter. "You are not my enemy, Cade. You are a prisoner of your own hatred." With a roar that shook the very ground, Callan surged forward, determination etched into his features. "And we will break those chains." The two alphas fought fiercely, but Alina could see the uncertainty flickering in Cade's eyes. "You think victory is yours, Cade. Look around. Your pack is wavering, your darkness is losing its grip." A fierce wind swept through the clearing, carrying the scent of pine and earth, intertwining with the raw energy thrumming in the air. As Cade faltered, Alina seized the moment, stepping forward, her heart racing with the strength of their love. "Choose to be free," she shouted, her voice echoing through the night. You don't have to hide behind hatred. Love can heal the wounds of the past. Kate's expression faltered, confusion clouding his gaze. But my family, my legacy. Your legacy can be one of love, not hatred. Alina urged, stepping closer, the glow of her power illuminating their surroundings. You can be more than the bloodlines that bind you. You have the power to choose your own path. As the battle raged around her, Alina felt the magic surge within her, the warmth of the pack wrapping around her like a protective embrace. She was no longer just an armada carrying a mark, she was a force of nature, a beacon of hope. With one final surge of energy, she thrust her hands out, enveloping Kate in a brilliant light that reflected her determination. You are not alone, you can choose love over hatred. The light pulsed, intertwining with the darkness Kate had brought. A shift occurred, a subtle change in the atmosphere as Kate staggered, uncertainty etched across his features. Join us, she cried again, the glow from her mark illuminating the shadows that clung to Kate. Together, we can break free. Together, we can write our destinies. With a ferocious snarl, Cade retreated, uncertainty flickering in his eyes as the remaining blackthorn wolves began to shift restlessly, caught in the tide of uncertainty. Alina! Callan shouted, breaking through the chaos to stand beside her, his presence a steady anchor amidst the storm. We're here, together! Alina felt the warmth of his love envelop her, infusing her magic with a fierce resolve. She would not back down. Together, she echoed, their voices intertwining like a melody that echoed through the forest. The light enveloped them, illuminating the darkness that had threatened to consume them. Kate,